Chapter 2107 Concentrated Strength 6. Zhang Yi and the others walked into the room, and Qin Xuanba extended his hand and introduced the soldier in white next to him. Let me introduce him to you. He is my most outstanding subordinate, a major general in the army, codenamed White Emperor Xiaohao. Baidi Xiaohao, whose real name is Jiang Guanghan, has been fighting with Qin Xuanba for many years. He has shown his prowess in recent years and is extremely talented, making him the second most powerful figure in the army. There was a deep meaning behind Qin Xuanba bringing him here. If there is a war to be fought, then for Jiang Guanghan, this would be an excellent opportunity to gain experience and military merit. Zhang Yi smiled and nodded at him, and he also greeted Zhang Yi and Yang Xinxin politely. Mr. Chaos, and this one, you should be the legendary Miss Queen Mother of the West, right? Yang Xinxin nodded. Several people sat down one after another. Zhang Yi also greeted Ji Changhai, and the old coach just nodded with a smile. Qin Xuanba and Jiang Guanghan remained silent, so Han Shanzhua, as the host, had to speak. Brother Chaos, is there anything serious going on in Tianhai City? I heard that you all moved to Blizzard City. Zhang Yi said calmly. The southeastern coast is completely destroyed. The tsunami has turned the coastal areas into mudflats, and no one knows when they will launch another attack. So, I had no choice but to take my people to Blizzard City for refuge. Qin Xuanba's eyes were somewhat solemn. How strong is Zhang Yi? Although he hadn't seen him in person for a long time, Qin Xuanba had heard a lot of rumors about him. He was a legendary figure who defeated many powerful enemies in Fremons and even defeated the famous King Arthur in a duel. If even he is afraid, it means the situation in the southeast coast is already very grim. What are you going to do? Qin Xuanba couldn't help but ask. Are you here to borrow troops or to lend you resources to help you rebuild your homeland? Qin Xuanba spoke rather directly. Han Shanzhua originally wanted to be polite, but now he saved the trouble and just looked at Zhang Yi, waiting for him to speak. Zhang Yi smiled and said, What if I say, I want the resources and I want the person too? As soon as these words were spoken, Qin Xuanba's eyes lit up. He raised his head, and through his military cap, one could see the sharpness of his eyes. You want to do something big? The Jiangnan region is the richest, and among them, Zhang Yi has the most resources. Just talking about the Yuanshe or Veins mine in Qinling Mountains, he occupies at least 70% of them. Now he says that he needs to borrow resources and people, so there is only one possibility. He is organizing a big war. A war of a scale beyond imagination. Qin Xuanba's eyes couldn't help but become hot. Han Shanzhua looked solemn, his eyelids lowered, secretly pondering the pros and cons. Zhang Yi said, Let me get this straight. I just came from Shengjing District, and I came to see them for the same purpose. There is a mortal feud between the Wulwan Empire and the Huashu Kingdom. Now they are restricted by the rules of this world, and cannot use their full strength to attack us. But now it seems that this restriction will not last forever. It has only been more than half a year since the last war, and they're coming back again. Smiling face with heart eyes casual date is just a click away. Zhang Yi stared at Han Shanzhua and asked, Luya, let me ask you this. If we experience another war of similar scale to the previous one, or a war of a higher level, can you guarantee that the northeast region will be safe and sound? Han Shanzhua's face turned ugly when he thought of that incident. If the National Protection Army had not intervened at the last moment, he would have been killed long ago. The gap in strength between us and the Wulwan Empire is indeed huge. He could only bow his head and admit it. No, brother. What do you want to do? Han Shanzhua looked at Zhang Yi and asked in confusion. Zhang Yi picked up the hot tea beside him and took a sip, then put down the teacup and said seriously, Fight back. Organize a massive counterattack that will solve all future problems once and for all. Qin Xuanba stared at Zhang. But they are underground, and we are on land. Their aliens and technology are stronger than ours. Fighting deep underground is not good for us humans, just like they are not adapted to ultraviolet radiation. How do you think we should fight when there is such a huge disparity in strength and all the conditions are not favorable for us? Zhang Yi repeated to them what he had said to the senior leaders of Xinjiang region. Just so they don't have to worry. Whether to do it or not is up to you. With the support of the 6 districts, I, Chaos, can take the lead in this battle. After all, my people contribute the most, and we also consume the most resources. If you don't agree, I will run away. Since everyone has different ideas, let's go our separate ways. Anyway, I have a way out. Zhang Yi kept a very steady attitude, neither too high nor too low, neither overbearing nor begging. If this is accomplished, it will benefit the entire Huaxu kingdom. The benefits gained from defeating an ancient kingdom are unimaginable, and it can also serve as a warning to other forces that covet our Huaxu kingdom. Please think about this carefully. After Zhang Yi finished speaking, he sat aside, not in a hurry, and let them think about it slowly. Han Shanzhua kept frowning. His body was hot from overthinking, and he kept scratching his head in anxiety. On the other hand, the National Protection Army was much more open and frank. Chen Xuanba said to Zhang Yi, "As long as this is the will of the entire Huaxu kingdom, our National Defense Army will definitely come to help. Fighting for the country is our duty. There has been no fighting on the northern border for a long time, and even due to Fremon's internal adjustments, even minor frictions have disappeared. The National Protection Army is ready to go and also wants to find an opportunity to train their troops." There was a look of joy in Zhang Yi's eyes. The National Protection Army is an elite force, and their joining will be a great help. Okay, then I would like to thank Mr. Zhuanxu. Chen Xuanba waved his hand and said, "No need to thank me. This is just my duty as a soldier." Then, it depends on how Han Shanzhua and Ji Chonghai express their opinions. At this time, Ji Chonghai said, "Mr. Hundun, we understand what you mean. We Huaxu people have never been cowards. If we are bullied, we must get back at them. But this matter is of great importance. How about you let us discuss it first and then give you an answer?" Zhang Yi nodded. "It should be so. I gave Xinjiang district 3 days to reply, so please give me a reply within 3 days from the Northeast district." Zhang Yi suddenly smiled bitterly and said, "I am not forcing you to help me. I just don't want to see the day when Huaxu Kingdom is invaded by the lizardmen of the Wulwan Empire. At that time, we will all become sinners of our country and nation." Chapter 2108 Concentrated Strength 7. After saying that, Zhang Yi and Yang Xinxin stood up. "That's enough of what we're saying. We're leaving first. We still have to go to other regions next." "Oh, why are you in such a hurry? Stay for dinner before you leave. I'll ask your sister-in-law to make dumplings for you." No, I'll definitely go there next time. Let sister-in-law freeze the dumplings first." Zhang Yi and Yang Xinxin did not stay for long and left the northeast region directly. Chen Xuanba took Jiang Guanghan away. After Han Shanzhua and Ji Chonghai saw them off, Han Shanzhua scratched his scalp hard, feeling mixed emotions. Should we take part in this battle or not? Ji Chonghai looked at the boy and laughed. "Xiao Shanzi, what are you thinking? Now that things have come to this point, is it still up to us?" "Ji Shuai, what do you mean?" Han Shanzhua gave him a questioning look. Ji Chonghai sighed. "They have made it very clear. The Northeast region is now far inferior to the Xinjiang and Jiangnan regions in terms of military strength and the strength of its aliens. The enemy is at sea, so it is true that there is no threat to the Northeast region for the time being. But if we treat them as fools and ask them to help us avoid disaster, will they be willing to do so? The lips and teeth are interdependent. The key is that the lips can still fly away. Do you think we can just not do it?" Zhang Yi laid out the pros and cons for them to see, and was too lazy to beat around the bush. Although he said that if other regions did not agree to join forces to attack the Wulwan Empire, he would take his men away. But it was just a threat. In fact, he had to fight this battle no matter what. But if someone didn't participate this time, then if he encountered any trouble in the future, don't expect him to help. When it came to dividing the cake, they could only stand aside and drool. Han Shanzhua gritted his teeth and said, "Okay, I'll listen to you. As long as Xinjiang has no objection, we'll follow suit. In fact, Zhang Yi came here just to say hello to them." Weighing the pros and cons, the Northeast region has no right to disagree. Next, Zhang Yi also symbolically made a trip to the Northwest region and Southwest region. As he expected, Xiao Lai was a smart man and quickly agreed. Moreover, Xiao Lai said to Zhang Yi, "If we really have to fight, you can let me manage the munitions. After all, the more weapons I have, the more room I can use my abilities to the full." Zhang Yi stared into Xiao Lai's eyes and asked, "What about the god of love's death? Can you make the god of love's death more powerful?" Xiao Lai chuckled. "Of course. As long as it is a weapon, after being blessed by my hands, its power will be greatly improved. Even if it is the god of death of love, in my hands, its explosive lethality will be increased by at least 120%. Zhang Yi immediately walked over and grasped Xiao Lai's hand. "You have such great skills. You must stay by my side when the battle starts." Thinking of this, he suddenly came close to Xiao Lai, put his arm around his shoulders and asked, "Brother, let me ask you something. I saw you use your supernatural powers to strengthen your body before. Does that mean you can strengthen anything?" Xiao Lai looked at Zhang Yi strangely. As soon as their eyes met, he immediately understood what Zhang Yi meant. Xiao Lai gave Zhang Yi a knowing look. "Of course. I guarantee you'll be satisfied. But this is a one-time thing. If you have any problems, I suggest you take medicine to solve them." Zhang Yi was furious. "Nonsense, I'm very strong. Don't make up rumors about me." It was indeed a pity that he could only strengthen it once, and he couldn't keep Xiao Lai with him every day to give himself a boost when needed. As for the later trip to the Southwest region, the two brothers of Zhangzhu readily agreed to send troops to help Zhang Yi. However, Luo Zhuo said to Zhang Yi, "Our abilities will be greatly reduced after we leave the snowy plateau, and we may not be able to help much. I hope you can understand this." Zhang Yi waved his hand and said, "You don't have to take action. Just send your men. After all, there are people on the back of the snow mountain who are eyeing us covetously." Bharata has always been concerned about the snowy plateau, and later Zhang Yi directly broke into the country and taught them a lesson. Given their grudges, they will definitely stab Huaxiu in the back when something happens. Zhang Yi felt much more at ease when he had the two brothers guarding the gate. After basically going around the 6 major areas, Zhang Yi returned to Blizzard City. For 3 days, he waited for news from Shengjing District. By the way, Luke Heron and others will also speed up the extraction of energy from the mineral deposits. Xin help me think again. Is there any other way to increase our chances of winning as much as possible? Although it seems that as long as the whole country's strength is mobilized, there is a great hope of winning this battle. But Zhang Yi is a rigorous person. The 6 silver-armored generals have access to more than 99% of the intelligence of the Wulwan Empire, but they may also miss some core secrets. Zhang Yi never dares to be complacent about unstable factors. Yang Xinxin thought for a moment and said, "Basically all those who can be mobilized in the country have been mobilized. It's not clear how much power Brian and his team provided to Colombia, but it's definitely not a lot. Because of their attitude, it's clear that they are participating in the operation as members of the Hitomi organization, not as Colombia officials. The countries that have a good relationship with us, well, it's best not to tell other countries, so as to avoid the news leaking out." In fact, even Colombia only speculated that Zhang Yi might launch a revenge action. If they knew that Zhang Yi was planning to destroy the Wulwan Empire in one battle, they would probably shout, "Madman." The Deep Blue Kingdom has done a very good job. So, is it possible to ask the Dragon Clan to help? Yang Xinxin pointed out such a possibility. Zhang Yi immediately frowned. This is a bit difficult. Zhang Yi has always been frightened by Bai Longzi's ugly face. Even when they asked for help, he looked disdainful, and he also said at the beginning that he had nothing to do with them anymore. Yang Xinxin said, "The Shengjing region can contact the Dragon Clan. Let's wait for their news. If we can get the Dragon Clan to take action, even if we only send Chang Wan to lead a team of human-face spiders, it will be a huge help." Those giant human-face spiders are also mechanical life forms and possess high-level Delta combat capabilities. Plus, a Black Bishop-level Changwan. This idea is so wonderful that Zhang Yi dare not even think about it. It's hard to say. We can't place too much hope on it. We can only keep it as a reserve plan and ask Shengjing District about it when the time comes. Well, besides these, there is actually another place. Brother, have you forgotten it? Dear viewers, thanks for staying with me. We'll try to get you more updates. Please like and subscribe and share the video with your friends. Love you all.